Hello, everyone. My name's Ayesiga Buberwa from Islands of Peace, or IDP. Islands of Peace is a Belgian NGO, and in Tanzania, we are working in the northern part where we have two programs, Kilimo Endelevu and Kilimo Endelevu Plus. And when I say Kilimo Endelevu, we mean sustainable agriculture. And today I'm going to present on our initiative called Revitalization of the Farmer Managed Seed System. And as a case, I'm going to case study on Karatu district in Tanzania. And we have a slogan where we say local seeds, our heritage, a forgotten treasure. Yes, IDP Mission, we have a mission that we are promoting sustainable food systems using the principles of agroecology. And we are working with two main local partners that are implementing partners. One is Recorder and another one is Mviwa Arusha. And our intervention area is Karatu district and as well as Arusha city. We are also working in collaboration with different partners, and this we call them technical partners. And for now, we are working with TPRI, the Center for the National Plant Genetic Resource Center, but also we are working with ECHO. We are working with IITA under the program Africa Rising. Also, we are working with World Veg, Farm Radio International, together with the Karatu District Council and the Arusha City Council. Yeah, when we say the farmer managed seed system, we really mean those seeds that are produced by the farmers, that are disseminated by the farmers, that are procured by the farmers, and this means that those seeds that the farmers get directly from their own harvest, they do exchange amongst each other through relatives, friends. They just do the barter exchanging of this local grain. Can be in the markets, can be through traders, but all those that system that are the seeds that are produced by the farmers themselves, they manage themselves and they manage the storage and dissemination themselves. And this is a very predominant system for food crops in subsistence agriculture. And as we all know, that it is estimated that almost 80% of the total area planted by the subsistence crops are from these informal seed systems. And this is a very resilient system, which is very active, and even without the support of the public institutions, the farmers themselves can manage the systems by their own ways. So why do we support the revitalization of the farmer managed seed system? Now you find that in Tanzania, the seed laws boost the private sector involvement in the seed industry. You find that the laws, the policies, for example, the Seed Act of 2003 in Tanzania, they do not recognize the local seed varieties as seeds. So the act of not recognizing these as seeds, it gives power to the commercial seed sector to favor, because they favor the formal seeds. So it gives power for the commercial seed sector so that they boost themselves, they can sell, they can do all the laws are favoring them, and in turn you find that it weakens the freedom of the farmers to make sure that they can produce, they can share and exchange their own seeds. And at this point now is when you see, when this formal sector is being favored, when the policies are favoring the agriculture that involves the formal seeds, you find that most of the seed varieties now, they are in a very high danger of getting lost. So we want to make sure that we revive these farmer managed seeds so that they can be also the farmers themselves, they can have rights, they can have freedom to manage their own seed system. So why should we keep on supporting the revitalization of the farmer managed seed system? Yeah, as I said earlier, most of the farmers, almost 80% of the farmers are using their own seeds, and because they are cheaper to get, they are free, and they can get it at the time they want. So the farmers themselves have preference for their local varieties. They can produce themselves, they can save, they can disseminate easily, quickly, and at the time they want it. And for them, it's really cheap comparing to using the formal seed system. And also another thing is, as we all know and agree, that the farmer managed seed system helps to preserve the biodiversity and the food security and the farmers' autonomy. So it's really crucial in addressing this issue, because the farmer managed seed system, we know that it helps in the challenge of the climate change, it helps in the challenge of nutrition, and it helps also in the challenges of food security. So if we have a very strong, a very diverse local seed system that are central, it will be key to the sustainable food system as well. So as IDP, in order to intervene in supporting the farmer managed seed system in Tanzania, we developed a strategy where our main goal was or is to support the diverse and robust local seed systems embedded in sustainable food systems that are renewable, resilient, equitable, diverse, health, and interconnected. So in this goal, we had our objectives, where the first objective is to make sure the farmer managed seed systems are legal and they are accessible and they are used and promoted by the farmers. And also, we aspire to see the seed laws in Tanzania recognize the farmer managed seed system and its contribution to the seed sector. Also, another objective is that the government, through the agricultural extension officers, be the promoters of the farmer managed seed system. We really need the support and the involvement of the local government, of the government itself, the extension officers, to promote the farmer managed seeds. Also, come to the consumers to change their habit of consumption. And we want really to see the consumers start running or going into seeking the local food varieties. Also, another objective is that the farmers are empowered and they are the champion of the advocacy itself for the farmer managed seed. Now, how are we supporting this initiative? In order to support the revitalization of the farmer managed system, we are implementing this in 3 strategies or 3 steps or tactics. And tactic 1, we make sure that we promote the production, the multiplication, and the use of the indigenous seeds by and for the farmers. And another tactic is that to do advocacy. So to advocate for legal recognition of the farmer managed seed system in the Seed Act for the specific exemptions of the laws, so that the law can recognize this. So we need to advocate more on the farmer managed seed. But also another tactic, the third one, is to sensitize the consumers, the consumers to consume the food, so that in turn to improve the farmer managed seed. In tactic number 1, promoting the multiplication and the use of indigenous seeds by the farmers, here we expect that the farmers will be able to produce, to access the good quality indigenous seeds by themselves. And we have several activities under these tactics where we do the identification of these seeds, collection of the seeds, and characterization of the farmer managed seeds. But also we are building capacity, the farmers and the smallholder farmers, to produce, to multiply and save the seeds. As you can see in the picture, farmers are being trained on the production of the local seeds. But also another activity is to promote the use and the utilization of the farmer managed seed varieties by the farmers themselves, because this thing is very affordable and is accessible within their localities. Under this tactic, we have several stages, and now stage number 1 is the sensitization of farmers and the situation analysis. And here we did a round of sensitization to the villages. We decided to start with 8 villages where we moved around the whole villages, do sensitizing farmers on the importance of using local varieties, but also now collecting these local varieties that are around within the villages. And we did this together with the farmers, because the farmers also, they had their own characteristics. So we developed the characteristics of these local varieties, and some of the characteristics were like days of maturity, the issues of germination, the issues of yield, like how much yield did they get, and the insect and disease resistance, drought resistance, the market, the issues of taste, the issues cooking time. So the farmers themselves developed the characteristics, and we started to collect these varieties around all the villages. So we managed to collect 144 seed accessions and 1 vegetative material. And now these local knowledge were documented, because there are a lot of management practices the farmers are using, and they were like not recorded anywhere. So we were doing also the documentation of this local knowledge from maybe the management practices, how do they manage this. And also after that, we did the laboratory test, and here this initiative, we are working with the National Plant Genetic Resource Center here in Arusha, where this is the National Gene Bank. They have the Gene Bank nationwide. So all these accessions collected here, they are also preserved in the National Gene Bank. So in the Gene Bank, they did the germination test. They also assessed the issues of pests and diseases assessment with all these collections. Also, after we identified and selected and stored these seeds in the gene bank and did all the laboratory tests, then the farmers themselves, together with the experts with the National Gene Bank, we decided to collect few varieties so that we can test them now on the ground. And here we selected different varieties. For example, in 2020-2021, in the season of 2020-2021, we just selected 2 varieties of maize and 2 varieties of beans and planted them in the demonstration plot. But in 2021, this season, we tried also to increase more varieties. Now we had 9 varieties of maize and 9 varieties of beans. And this, as I said, this is the participatory variety selection, where the farmers are fully involved in this selection, and they used some characters like when we say land races, where they were looking at the days of maturity, they are looking at the yield, they are looking at the resistance to pests and diseases, they were looking at the drought resistance, the issues of taste, the issues of color. So all these were like the characters, and they will be tested when we plant this in the demonstration plots. Also, another stage is stage 2, is the formation of the seed committee. As we learned, is that the formal seed, the informal seed sector, in order to be strong, they need dedicated farmers. The farmers themselves should be dedicated, should be committed, and should manage all the stages. So we thought it's good to select few people from these villages, the representatives of the farmers that are willing to take this initiative and to make sure that it will be sustainable. So we selected committee members in every village, where these will be responsible in the issues of record keeping, in the issues of manage the exchange of seeds, but also to take some orders from the farmers themselves, to manage the communication between the seed producers, but also to ensure the issue of quality and control that will be ensured. So we selected the committees, trained them on each stage, from the stage of production. Every stage they were trained so that they can be able to manage well this initiative. Now, stage 3 is the seed testing and characterization. Now here is we have selected the varieties that we are going to try and test. It's now we go on the ground, select the farms, and start the demonstration. So we managed to select these 33 farmers that were selected for the trial. They tried at the first stage for the planting, and they were monitored. So every stage is being monitored because the characterization starts from planting. After planting, the germination, then is when the characterization starts, and it is continuous, step by step, step by step. So here we are working with the National Plant Genetic Resource Center, the staff from an NPGRC, together with IDP agronomists. They monitor every day the fields. They monitor in the field, in the demonstration plot, but also training the farmers. So we managed to have 54 demonstration plots in 2020, and also we did the on-farm trials. These are two different things. When we say demonstration plot, these are the plots that are using to train farmers, but also to demonstrate and show to other farmers on how these seeds are appearing. But also we thought, because we have a component of research, the NPGRC team, they are doing research. So we thought it's good to have some trial farms where we do pure research. So we had 18 trial farms where we did pure research, and as you can see, you measure everything, you collect data from germination up to harvest. Different data are collected. This data will help us a lot in creating evidence on different stages of these local seeds. Now, stage number 4 is the seed multiplication. Now, after we have tested the seeds, planting them, now harvesting the seeds, now how do we sort the seeds? How do we store and preserve the seeds? And how do we manage the distribution and the exchange of the seeds? So here we train farmers first on all these stages, and the proper storage, the proper conservation, the proper selection of the seeds, but also how can they manage the exchange and the distribution. And here now in our program, we managed to establish the 8 community seed banks These local seed banks, they are real in the normal farmer-managed seed banks, and they are managed by the community. For our case, we managed to have this in collaboration with the extension officers for sustainability purposes. So these seed banks, most of them are located in the local government offices, where they gave us a room. We modified and developed the room and put these shelves and make sure that the farmers can able to access, control, and manage the whole bank. So in our case, we have 8 community banks established. So what we have achieved so far under tactic number 1 was to train farmers, and we managed to train 856 direct farmers on seed collection, production, sorting, and saving. But also we managed to collect 144 local seed accessions and stored them in the National Seed Bank. And also we managed to establish the 54 demonstration plots and the trials. We managed to have 18 demo trials for the research. These are the research trials, as I said earlier. Also, we managed to correct 10 varieties of maize and 19 varieties of beans that are undergoing characterization. And also, we managed to have 8 community seed banks established in 8 villages. So in tactic number 2, on advocacy and sensitization activities, we expect that the government should make some specific exemptions on the seed laws. The government should recognize the farmer-managed seed system so that they can amend their laws and the farmer seeds can be recognized by the law. So here we have several activities, and look, here is the pure advocacy. So we have different activities where we are intervening in this aspect. So one is just to create awareness and do some trainings. We managed to create awareness to the journalists. So we all know that the journalists, they reach most of everywhere and they are being heard by many people. So for them to understand the farmer-managed seed system is very key. So we thought it's good to build the capacity of these journalists so that whenever and wherever they report on the farmer-managed seeds, they are well knowledgeable and they do the right thing. So we managed to create awareness and continue doing different kinds of training to these journalists. But also, we are very active in different networks and platforms that are advocating for the farmer-managed seeds. And this is at the regional level and also at the national level. We are in networks of organizations that are really advocating for the farmer-managed seeds. Also, we build capacity in doing the advocacy to the farmers themselves. So we want the farmers themselves to raise their voice, to make sure that they are heard, but they are doing in a right way. So we have the mandate and we are doing the training to the farmers to make sure that themselves they can be able to champion these advocacy activities. Tactic number 3 is to sensitize farmers and consumers on the farmer-managed seeds and the local food system. And here we expect to see the farmers and consumers are sensitized on the farmer-managed seed system, but also the importance of this system, the economic importance, the social importance, the environmental importance, but also the health importance in this aspect. We want them to know that by consuming the local foods, automatically they will contribute to advocate for the farmer-managed seeds system. And we have several activities under this tactic where there is organization of food and seed fair. We managed to organize the seed fair and the food fair, and here is where the farmers themselves, they do demonstration of seed. As you can see in the picture, they demonstrate different varieties of seeds, but also they demonstrate different varieties of foods so that the people can be able to see and be sensitized. But also we do this through radios, through brochures. We also produce brochures, produce newspapers and all the materials to make sure that this news is being spread widely, publicly to different kinds of people, so that to ensure that the consumption of this local food is really increased. Also, we are supporting local restaurants for food. We believe that restaurants, most of the people, especially in the cities, in the towns, they eat at the restaurants. So if the restaurants also buy in this idea and make sure that they have their local food, the people really want the local food. And this was our learning, because after being trained, after training these restaurant owners, they managed to introduce some menus, some dishes on local varieties, and they really see that it's really important and people are really liking eating local varieties of food. It's because that they don't know where to get them. But once they are sure that this restaurant, they provide this local food, many people are running into that restaurant. So we have managed to train restaurant owners on that. And also we are doing the sensitization campaign on the Seed Act. And as I said earlier, we are using smallholder farmers to raise their voice, to make sure to do the advocacy stages, through different stages, so that this agenda can move forward. As you can see in this picture, like here, we are talking to the journalist. It's the TV station. So we are talking about the importance of eating, of consuming local food, nutritional wise, but also why do we really advocate for the farmer managed seeds, for the betterment of the smallholder farmers. Also here you can see the cooking demonstration sessions in different areas. We are doing it even in the marketplaces, in the auctions, where we demonstrate. People are doing their own business, but they come, they gather, they listen to the nutritionist, and we say we relate this in the nutritional content. So every food, the nutritional importance of it, but how properly they can produce in order to conserve the nutrients. So the farmers are being trained, the farmers are being sensitized using this method. But also here, as you can see in this picture of the banner on the interactive radio programming. So we managed to do the radio programs, different programs to create awareness on the safe, on the local and the health food. So thank you very much for listening, and thank you. As you can see, these happy farmers, they mean that together they can manage to produce their own seeds, save their own seeds, and get the quality seeds at the affordable price as they want, at the time they want them. And because for sure they are sure that together they can preserve the biodiversity, but also to improve the food security, and they are resilient. Thank you so much.